Excellent. Thanks, Mike, for the kind intro, and good morning, everyone. Let's just get this out of the way first. Show of hands, how many Roux customers do we have in the audience? Awesome. That's a good number. All right, so for all of our customers, thank you. For everyone else, we had a lot of people there that actually didn't raise their hands. We have a great mobile app. What I'd suggest, you get out your phone right now, download our app, and feel free to tune me out for the next 30 minutes or so. Just do some shopping. We had an Italian mega sale that launched yesterday. I think there are a couple of things left, maybe, but feel free to buy something, and then we'll check back later on how you did. I'm thrilled to be here today. Thank you to the Ad Club for having me. It's really an honor to be here. And I'm really excited to tell you a little bit about the Roux story and some of the things we're up to. First, I'll start off with a little bit about myself. First, the picture up here, this is of my world-class marketing team, without which many of the things you'll see today wouldn't be possible. It's a fantastic team. We're on the Codzilla, the fast, loud, very wet boat tour of the Boston Harbor on a team event. And there I am in the back, very strategically positioned behind the rest of my poncho-wearing team to protect me from the waves that are crashing over the side. I would highly recommend that if you go on the Codzilla, you think strategically about where you sit, and you bring a great team like mine to protect you. Really, a lot of the kudos for what you'll see today goes to the team. Tell you a little bit about my background. I've been with Roux for 2.5 years. Like Mike said, I'm the SVP of marketing at Roux and oversee the marketing organization. Prior to joining Roux, I was at Wayfair for 5 years, leading global direct marketing, and oversaw the growth there from about $200 million to about $1 billion in revenue, and really saw success riding that growth curve, and came to Roux to see if we could repeat the same story. Before I got into the marketing space, my background, I was in venture capital investing. I was at 2 different firms investing in e-commerce and consumer internet companies. And then before that, I had more of a analytics background within investing and strategy consulting at Bain & Bain Capital. And then going way back, I studied computer science and psychology undergrad at Dartmouth. Really my position today and the the approach that I take at Roux is the perfect amalgamation of really all of those past experiences that I've had. So everything from the innovation of venture capital and marketing is nothing if not about innovation. We're constantly changing, and we're constantly thinking like a startup. How do we do things differently? How do we disrupt what others are doing or what we did last year? To the analytics of investing. Ultimately, what I'm doing, and my team is doing, is investing the capital of the firm and looking for ROI, much like you would be in investing. And so the analytic practice of investing is really a lot of the mix of what I do and what I work on with my teams. Certainly the psychology of human behavior. How do we think about creating compelling experiences? What drives our customers and our members to shop? And how do we take advantage of understanding their needs and how we can deliver experiences to them? And then underlying that all, technology. So my background in computer science and technology is so relevant today as marketing has become almost all about technology. We're the biggest consumers of technology, products and services and engineering resources within the Roux organization, and I think that's common across the marketing landscape, where technology underlies everything that we do, from delivering the data and analytics to make decisions, to creating the customer experiences on our website that engage and retain our customers. So it's a really perfect fit of everything I've done before. I love it, and I'm thrilled to be here to tell you a little bit about it. So that's enough about me. Let's start off and talk a little bit about the beginnings of Roux, because I think it's really interesting. Roux launched in 2008, and it was launched by the executives of a company called Smart Bargains. So Smart Bargains was an online discount retailer here in Boston. They were right in downtown Crossing. And it was a successful e-commerce site. But the leaders there recognized that kind of a key challenge that is super common across the e-commerce landscape, and that is essentially there was no customer loyalty. The consumer came for the deals, and they came when there was a margin eroding promotion, or they came because Smart Bargains paid money to Google or someone else to acquire them through a paid channel. And so those were the two ways that their customers were shopping, and that's a tough way to run a business long term. And so the Smart Bargains executives saw that challenge, and they set themselves to the challenge of how do we create a business that is essentially the opposite of that. And they decided to kind of survey the landscape and look for other models that could help them basically reinvent the business, because they didn't see a long-term future in what they were doing. So in that research, they came across a French company called Vente Privée. Vente Privée had started several years earlier and had pioneered the use of the private sale model to get around very strict French anti-discounting laws. So in France, you can't discount brands. There are only certain days and only certain windows and only to certain audiences. And so they created this private sale model where online brands could put their inventory on sale in a safe environment. And so the executives at Smart Bargains saw that model working very well in Europe and said, we think this actually could meet some of the needs of what we're looking for in the US market. And so they quickly wrote a business plan about how to take that private sale model, that flash sale model, to the US. And that was the initial concept for Roux. Roux has always put customers at the center of everything that we do from those very early days. After writing the business plan, the team created mock-ups of the Roux site and experience, the first several screens. They were all live wireframes, and brought in panels of consumers to kind of get feedback. Try the different screens, tell us what they thought, and use that to refine the product offering before launch. So we brought these customers in, and we showed them the first screen, which is actually this screen that you would see before you, which is the login or registration screen that a new member would see when they were referred by one of their friends. In the first iteration of Roux, the only way to get into the site was one of your friends who was already in had to refer you, and then you could sign up and join and become a member, or at certain times you couldn't even become a member immediately. You had to join a wait list. So in any case, they showed them this first screen, and they said, so what do you think? Would you use this site? And the customer said, well, why would we give you our email address? Why, if we have no idea who you are or what you might sell us? Because really that you couldn't see the experience at all through this initial experience. And the executive said, well, you're going to give us your email address because your friend referred you, and you trust your friend to say this is going to be great. And the consumer said, I don't think I'd do that. This doesn't look trustworthy. I don't know that, I don't know what you are, so I probably wouldn't do that. So the next question, we said, okay, well, just assume you did give us your email address. Assume you got over those hurdles and you registered and became a member. And we showed them a second screen, which had two sales. I think it was Prada and Cole Haan, two brand sales. And we said, what do you think? And the people on the panel said, where's the search bar? And we said, no, you don't understand. That's not how it works. This is about discovery. There is no search bar. And they said, okay, that's strange. And then they said, the next thing they said was, so only two brands? And we said, yes. And they said, that's awful. I mean, this is a really bad experience. We that doesn't give me enough. It doesn't give me what I want. And we said, okay. And so it was a good reminder, because they were basically saying the experience, this is horrible, we would never use this. It was a good experience that really we were launching at that time what was a brand new model. Customers didn't know, they'd never experienced a flash sale before, and so they really couldn't tell us what they wanted. And so largely we ignored that feedback. We pretty much launched the site as it was originally wireframed. And on the first day of launch, within 15 minutes, I think it actually was maybe Prada and one other brand that launched on that first day, the site crashed. Traffic was so much beyond the expectations that the team had. The site came down, and that really launched the Roux La La business, and it's been kind of off to the races ever since. So that's really the start of Roux. A lot of where we started is still in the DNA of our company today. So these are some of the Roux logos in the early years. There was a lot of experimentation that went on post-launch around the look and feel of the brand. As you can see, it's a very fun, whimsical, colorful brand kind of palette that we launched with, and there was a lot of experimentation that happened along the way. And that creativity and experimentation and that whimsy of the early days still is a core part of what our brand is today. This is what we look like today from a kind of logo Roux brand perspective. It still has a whimsical tone, but a much more mature execution through all of the copy, through all of the creative assets, and you'll see some more of that today. And we have way more than 2 boutiques. So in terms of sales that we're launching every day, we're launching about 30 new events every single day. And so we're offering the customers a much wider set of brands and offerings and products that gets them to engage and come back again and again. Those brands and those sales run from anywhere from a 6-hour event or maybe even shorter. We're a true flash sale event where the inventory is very limited and a very limited time duration to a few days. And so we have a range of events that are the brand architecture. And we're constantly adding new brands to that lineup to give our customers more, because it really is a discovery platform, and so that constant rotation of brands and products that we're offering is critical to the experience. These are just a few of the brands that we carry on Roux, and our members really respond to brands. If I had to say the number one thing that our core member is loyal to, they love branded product. They are very loyal to a certain set of brands, and we can carry those brands at amazing value, and that is one of the key reasons they come to us. As you can see on the screen, Louis Vuitton, one of the brands. You'll see some more of the creative here. Anyone carry a Louis bag out there? Yeah, we've got a couple. Okay, well, if you're still shopping, the people still on their phones, feel free to. There might be some of those left as well. We can get you one at a good price. But our merchant team, which is based in Boston and New York, is the one that's really tasked with finding and unlocking and bringing new brands to our site. That is what they do every day, all day, and they're great at it. They are constantly looking for what are the best new brands, as well as what are the tried and true brands that our members like, and finding them in the marketplace so that we can bring them to our members at a great value. So all of our inventory is off price. You're not going to be playing retail at Roux, and so finding inventory and having the brand relationships to negotiate that pricing is a critical part of what our merchants do every day. In 2016 alone, we launched over 800 new brands. They were on Roux for the first time, both big and small. And so that degree of turnover and keeping the site fresh, new, and different is extreme. And so if you've been with us, maybe you haven't checked us out in a while, there's very likely something new for you if you were to come back and check out the site today. The way we work with our brands, they really are true partners to us. We're really working together to achieve our brand partners' goals. One of the biggest benefits, I think one of the obvious ones, is the volume that we can bring to these brands. So we can run a brand about 6 times a year and offer them a way to sell discounted inventory on sale in a very short window of time. None of the brands want to be on sale 365 days a year. That's brand eroding, not good for them. But they can move they don't need to do that, because through us in those 6 events, they can move significant volume. Essentially, they can move the same amount as if they were on sale every day, and they can do it in a much more brand safe way. And so that's a huge part of the story for us. But the private sale market, that was really the beginning in 2008. So we launched in the depths of the recession, and there was inventory out there in the marketplace, a lot of distressed inventory because of the consumer behavior and people not wanting to shop at full price anymore. But it's a much more complex relationship with the brands today. The retail landscape is very dynamic, and in addition to helping these brands sell their inventory, we're really helping them to get access to a new customer demographic and a new customer base through the Roux customers, and helping them through integrated models that we have with them, growing their own direct business. So the brands, one of the primary things that is happening in the brand landscape today is no one's going to the large department stores anymore, right? And those used to be the primary channels that these brands sold through. And so these brands have been disrupted to a certain extent in terms of their channels, and all of them are trying to develop their direct businesses so that they can be more in charge of their brand. They can control the customer. They can get away from the kind of the rampant discounting that happens through the normal retail, the normal department store channels. And so we can partner with them to help them grow their direct business in their integrations with us. So here's the Louis event. This is an event from Saturday. But ultimately what we are is all about consumer and engagement. And I think you can see that come through in our creative. This would be a creative that you'd see on our site or in our emails advertising this event for Louis. And we're really trying to create an emotional connection in the creative, in the imagery, and in the copy that we use on our site. What we've found is that if we can inspire her and we can capture her attention, through the creative, ultimately she will buy with us and come back again and again to see what's new and different. I think of it as it's almost reading through Roux can almost be like a magazine experience, and that's something that our customers will often do. They'll browse while they're on their go, and they're looking at the imagery like you would look at an editorial magazine or at a catalog that has a kind of an inspirational component to what you're looking for. Or it can just be entertainment. So a lot of customers are coming just because it's maybe they're not shopping that day, but they're entertained by how the stories that we're telling and how we're portraying the brands and the sales that we carry. So once you are drawn in by the brand story that we're telling or by the creative, we have a very clean shopping experience, and that's critical to us. No search bar even today. It's not about search. This is about discovery. And so we keep the experience extremely simple once you're drilling into an event. And we know that we keep it simple because we know our members have very limited time. I mean, everyone does these days. No one has the kind of patience or attention, or not many people do, to be kind of sifting through mountains and mountains of inventory. And one of the key points of the Roux differentiated kind of experience is everything is highly curated. We've actually found that, and we've played with this over the years, we've found that if we actually present too many choices, she'll buy less. The time that we can save by keeping the experience simple, keeping the inventory quality extremely high is significant, and our members respond to that curated approach. And the best styles sell out fast. So I think in this Louis sale this past weekend, all of the monogrammed bags were probably sold out in the first 30 minutes, right? And so there's still a significant amount of urgency to our model. And our members know that. They know that they need to come in. We launch sales at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. are our main sale launch events every day. And our members know they need to be watching to see if something's going to pop up that they want, because it's not going to stick around. The best inventory continues to go extremely quickly, and we can drive. And this is part of the volume story, but basically in the 30-minute window after we launch a sale, we don't look like a $500 million retailer that we are. We look like a $10 billion retailer in terms of our traffic and the amount of volume that we drive in that period after a sale launches. So it's a very interesting model that really spikes with those periods of demand, and I think it creates kind of almost a little bit of a game mechanic to it, where the customers are trying to get the best inventory as quickly as possible. And so it's a fun part of the experience. One of my favorite perks is in the Roux office, we have many loyal shoppers among the workers there. And for whatever reason, no one seems to schedule meetings around 11 o'clock or 3 o'clock. I'm not sure why that is, but I don't know if Tricia was. A lot of people on my team might be checking other things out. So we bring the brand experience, a consistent, fun experience all the way through when a member is receiving her order. So these are examples of the box flaps that you might see if you order a Roux package, and it arrives in your home. We call them Rouxisms, but essentially they bring the unique Roux voice to the member. We'll use these types of Rouxisms in our assets, like in our packaging, as well as part of our social media campaigns. I think they're fun, whimsical. Again, we support the Roux brand voice. You'll see some more of these later as well. And our customers appreciate all the effort and care that we put into crafting this experience for them. Here's some awesome quotes from the feedback that we receive from our members. I like the one about Rula's been killing it with new designers. Aquazzurro was a sale that we launched recently and definitely killed it. Had a lot of people talking about that sale on social media. So these things will spread very quickly when we have something that's particularly exciting in the markets, particularly hard to get on discount, and they can spread very rapidly. We also get a lot of comments through our social media around our customer service team. We have a very high-touch customer service team who really delivers an excellent experience to our members. Our head of customer service actually sends around a compilation of all of our customer feedback every Friday to the entire organization. He calls it Friday Feedback. And we use that as a great way to get a pulse check on what our members like and what they don't like. Good and bad, we'll take that and we'll integrate it back into what we're working on every day, and really keeping the member and her experience at the center of all of our initiatives. Another thing that our service team and really our company track overall is our Net Promoter Score. It's actually one of the key metrics, one of the KPIs for us as a business and us at the executive level, something we're watching really closely. It's really important to us that we're delivering that excellent customer experience, and we really strive to do that. Our team will go above and beyond. They'll essentially do whatever it takes to delight the customer. We had a customer in Florida that ordered a very expensive pair of earrings for an event, and we actually hand delivered them to the customer to make sure that they were satisfied. So the service is excellent, and we definitely get recognized for that in our service. So let's take a look at some of the metrics of the business that we're really proud of. We have an extremely large reach. We have about over 16 million members right now. And through our marketing and our just word-of-mouth referral efforts of our existing member base, we add over 2 million members every single year. So really rapid growth of membership. This is constantly expanding, and we're really proud of the large member audience that we have. We also target an extremely, a really high-end customer. So the 160,000 is the average household income of our member. Our target customer, our core member, is female, 30 plus, and has a high household income. We offer, an aspirational product, and that's the best. That's the demographics. That's the best fit. She's also highly engaged. She's coming back on average to our site 3 to 4 times a week. If you think about traditional brick and mortar retailers, they're lucky to see a customer come back 3 to 4 times a year. Actually, the industry average for brick and mortar retail is only 1 to 2 times a customer coming back into the store. And so here we're seeing double that on a weekly basis. I mean, that's extreme levels of engagement. It's compared to other businesses that I've worked with and seen before, it's really off the charts. It's phenomenal, and it's all a testament to the experience that we've been able to build. We're mobile first. I mean, it sounds a little bit cliched. I think everyone's trying to be mobile first these days. But truly, 60% of our purchases happen on the mobile device. And we know that our member is on the go constantly. And so whether she's on the train, in an elevator, she wants access to the sales kind of when she wants it and on her terms. And because our sales are very temporal, there's a lot of urgency around the time periods when we're launching those sales. It's important to just give her access, where she's when she's on the go, not necessarily tied down to her computer. And so we focus a lot, invest a lot of resources in making our mobile experience extremely easy, and it's world class. We've won a lot of awards for the mobile experience, and we continue to innovate and try to drive differentiation there. We're actually, because of these efforts, the 11th largest mobile retailer in terms of sales, as ranked by Internet Retailer. So, a very important platform for us and a significant area of focus. Hopefully, some of you are still checking us out. The Roux vision, and Mike mentioned this, but everything that we do aims at allowing us to be the most engaging off-price style destination, connecting world-class brands to the next generation shopper. That mantra is kind of informs everything that we're doing. and really means that we're not just a fashion retailer. We are about connecting brands to shoppers, and it's about engagement, right? You see, we're not about necessarily selling. It's about being the most engaging destination. And so a lot of the efforts that I'm going to talk you through now are really focused on that. The first one that I'm going to show you that we launched recently is called Roux Now, which is our content and commerce offering. A little short video. Great, so that's Roux Now. We launched it this past January, and it's really our take on the intersection of content and commerce. It was born out of two insights from our members. The first was she already views us as a fashion authority, and this one was a little bit of a surprise to us, but as we dug in, the editorial nature of the imagery that we take and of the curation of the brands and the products that we carry on our site already caused her to believe that we were in a fashion authority because we're really curating all of the products for her. And then the second thing that we heard was that she really wanted more. It wasn't sufficient just to curate the products and the brands, but she wanted to understand how to style that scarf she had just bought, or understand, as she's thinking about handbags, what are the 5 it handbags to have for the summer. And she wanted that content from us. So those were the concepts behind Roux Now and us putting together a content offering. It is a fashion feed that highlights basically the most relevant fashion and lifestyle news from across the web all day, every day. So just as we're not creating, so we create some of the content, but we don't create all of it. And just as we curate brands or products on our sites, we have a team that's curating content. And so they're taking third-party sources like Vogue, Style, Fashionista, She Finds, and they're bringing it all together in one place. So they're essentially doing the work of finding the best do-it-yourself, beauty, style, fashion content across the web and bringing it all into a single feed that a member can use to browse and to see what's the best of what's out there. And so Roux Now, our member could be reading it on the train or in a meeting and has access to all of that content right at our fingertips. Again, we're this curation approach, we're doing the effort. We're saving the member time. She doesn't need to go to all of these different sources and sift through them. She can come to Roux and get it all in one place. We've had a lot of learnings since we've really tried to figure out how to become a content brand as well as a retailer in a very short period of time. I mean, some of the learnings are obvious. The first is absolutely the BuzzFeed style headlines work. And if you want to get someone to click, for whatever reason, this celebrity wore will shock you. Kind of that works every time. And so you can try tricks like that. But I think for us, the most engaging content that we found has actually been beauty content. We had thought that fashion news would be much more popular. It turns out she's not that interested in that, but if we tell her how to style a new look or how to put on mascara, she's going to read that article. So that was an interesting learning, and so a lot of the content you'll see now is very fashion, very, very beauty-oriented. The secret to generating this content is also around how you design the experience. If some of you have checked out on your mobile phone, it's on the mobile device. There's a bottom navigation that enters you into the Roux Now feed. We launched with that initially, and actually the traffic and engagement to Roux Now through mobile was relatively low. So we tried changing a number of aspects of the experience. And one thing that we did that was a small change but had a huge impact was we put a little button at the bottom which basically has your unread article count. It says how many Roux Now articles are new since you last checked it. the Pavlovian response of I need to, inbox zero, clear out my queue is just so strong that all of a sudden Roux now became, the mobile app became the largest single source of traffic for Roux now, essentially overnight as soon as we launched that feature. So it's a really powerful reminder of how those small changes and taking advantage of how the customer is thinking, how we can get them to engage with something new. Next, wanted to highlight a couple of the franchises that we run. A franchise to us is a series of curated boutiques that boutique concepts that we run on a regular basis. The top one here is #TheLookNow, which is a series where we partner with bloggers and we showcase fashion and styles that are inspired by the blogger and their style and would resonate with their audience. So it's kind of an integration of that blogger's audience with ours. And so typically here we're attracting a younger member and also have much more of a kind of a fast fashion, lower price point styles in those types of boutiques. And then at the bottom, another one is the Weekender. So we'll have a series of showing what's in someone's bag. So in this case, the member, the member can understand the full story of what someone might carry. So in this case, one of our fashion directors curated an event of what's in Alexander's Weekender. And we have some fun events or fun bag concepts coming up for the holidays, which you might be able to imagine whose bag we might have. Another program that we have entails partnering with non-fashion brands like entertainment companies to run integrated marketing campaigns that provide basically that brand exposure to the Roux member audience and our desired demographic. And we do this in a really editorial way. It really doesn't look like advertising. And we'll only do it with brands where it's additive to our members' experience. We think it's going to be a good win for the brand and for us. And so here you'll see one that we ran with Outlander, where we set up a curated boutique that was styled, and our fashion director specifically picked the items in the boutique that were inspired by the styles on the show. And here you can see the red dress that we had in the boutique that was inspired by the red dress of the main character. And so we'll have a number of strategies around these campaigns. One of the things that was really impactful in this campaign, or really important to the client at Outlander, was our ability to use mobile push. Because of our huge mobile following and the number of people that use the mobile app, we could push out timely messages on the mobile device. And so 30 minutes before the premiere of the new season of Outlander, we sent a push out to our members basically supporting the tune-in message that Outlander was hoping to achieve and drive viewership in their premiere. This is another example, again, using the What's in Our Bag franchise. Here while we wouldn't necessarily typically sell Fiji water, we would partner with them to sponsor this event. And having Fiji in Loredana, our fashion director's bag, was a perfect fit and a very natural integration. We actually did sell Fiji water on the site as part of this event. So one fun thing that we've also done recently, we've gone Hollywood. And so just a few weeks ago, I think we're in our third week, we kicked off an exclusive partnership with Access Hollywood and Access Hollywood Live, where each week we run a boutique that's exclusive for products offered to the Access Hollywood audience. And they promote it on screen. Now, essentially have a talking segment. We have a spokesperson who tells their viewership the benefits of the products that we're selling. All of these are amazing discount, and we have deep inventory in them. They've sold out extremely quickly. It's essentially flash TV, and so it's a fun concept that brings a new audience to the Roux site. Access Hollywood has a pretty broad demographic and a lot of viewership. About 2.8 million people every week are tuning into Access Hollywood and Access Hollywood Live. And it's another good way to keep our brand top of mind, to be in front of that audience. I was going to show the clip of what we did with them, but I assume all of you watch us Access Hollywood Live at 11 o'clock in the morning. You have nothing better to do. So you probably saw it. So we won't show it this time. The next one I wanted to talk about is our integrated marketing campaign with Cotton that really had all the bells and whistles of what Roux La La has to offer with some of the brand partners that we're working with. This was actually our second year of partnering with the Cotton brand. Last year, their goal had been to generate awareness of cotton fabric. And then this year, they wanted to see if they could actually generate direct increases in sales of cotton-based product through an integrated promotion on our site. And so we kicked up the partnership a few notches. We did some of the things that we will typically do, which is integrated boutiques around cotton curated product. We did a site takeover. We did an email blast to our member audience with the messaging. We had push notifications. We had inserts in the boxes going out to our members, and even we put the cotton logo on our boxes for a short period of time. Something we hadn't done before this was a actual physical store. So we're an online retailer, not a physical retailer, but we decided to see, could we become a physical retailer? So we set up a pop-up shop on Newbury this summer in collaboration with Cotton. And we wanted to make it very Roux. Essentially, we wanted to make an experience, not just a typical retail shop. And we wanted to generate engagement. And so we themed the event Cotton. It doesn't get any cooler than this. And we curated cotton product around 3 different summer themes: beach weddings, picnics in the park, and music festivals. And so in each of those areas within the pop-up shop, we had kind of something fun to go along with the theme. So we had a live flower wall, just like Kim and Kanye's wedding. We had a DJ spinning tunes in the music festival and fashion illustrations. And then we even tapped into a blogger, JC Dupree, who has a very large following. Her father actually is a cotton farmer. Yes, a cotton farmer. And she's super into fashion, and so it was a perfect match for the event. The results were amazing. We had almost 2,000. We only had it was a very short-lived pop-up shop, only open for 12 hours, and we had over 2,000 people come into the event, generated a lot of buzz, and really was a fun event. And then we supported it with an online sales on our site. So you could go in. We were even selling product directly within the sales, but you had to go in and use an iPad and shop on Roux. And so we sold through that, and then opened it up and had our members shopping online who couldn't attend the Newbury Street event all week long, and the sales were great. So I have a short clip that will show you a little bit about how it went.
We're in Boston. We're at the Runa Cotton Pop-Up Shop. The collaboration between Cotton and Runa is about connecting the shopper with cotton and getting to know the fiber. I feel like it's important you check the label in your food. Why wouldn't you check the label in your clothing? The inspiration behind the 3 themes is about the 3 activities that you do most in the summer, with each having a different style level. Music Festival is more of our boho vibe. It's all about graphic tees, denim shorts that are frayed, and little minis. For the beach wedding, we chose maxi dresses, sheet dresses, fit and flare, and wanted to show them more elevated styles of cotton. For a picnic in the park, it was all about preppy styles. Cotton shorts, button downs, all about the more casual look of cotton.
I think what makes this pop-up shop truly unique is that Roux products are typically only sold online, and this really gives the customers an opportunity to come in, touch the materials of the fabrics that the products are made out of, see it in person. Sometimes you'll see something online when you're shopping, and you'll be like, oh, that's cute, but you don't really know what it's going to look like in person, so this kind of gives the customer that opportunity.
I just purchased this dress because I saw it and I tried it on. It just works well with every curve. It's perfect for any body shape for any woman, and it's a great purchase. I can't wait to wear it.
Cotton is the best fabric to wear for summer, whether you're going to a beach wedding or you're going to a picnic in the park, or you've got that summer music festival that you're looking forward to going to, because it keeps you cool, it keeps you comfortable. And this pop-up shop's great because Real is showing you how to style these items, they're showing you how much cotton is going into each piece, so it's a win-win.
Cool, what do you think? So it's a fun event. So that took you through some of the things that what we've done. Here's where we're headed. We sat down as a leadership team earlier this year and came up with 6 goals that are bucketed across 3 different areas. And as you'll notice, they're all around growth, both growing in top-line sales and in bottom-line profitability. These are the initiatives that really the whole Roux organization is focused on. The first one is really the mandate of my marketing organization, which is in investing in growth opportunities. Here we have accelerating new buyer growth. We're not satisfied with the adding 2 million members every year. How can we think about different ways to attract a new customer and a new member into the Roux experience, and not just members, but how can we drive buyers as well? Something like the Access Hollywood event or the Access Hollywood partnership came out of this sort of initiative. Increasing member engagement and loyalty. This is a fun one to work on because our member is already so loyal and engaged. We've challenged ourselves, how can we make that even better? And so one of the main efforts that we're undertaking in this one is personalization. I know a lot of people in retail are working on personalization. Roux, I think, is frankly behind in what we've done to date. If you log into the Roux experience, you are likely to see mostly the same experience that the person next to you logging in would see as well, even though you have very different fashion tastes. And we as a brand have a lot of information about you. We know about what you've looked at over long periods of times, what you've bought with us. And today we haven't used a lot of that information to really personalize the experience and present you with even more of a curated assortment of what is going to be relevant for you. And so this quarter we're unlocking a number of initiatives to really present a much more personalized assortment, both on our site and in our app, and then across all of our touch points like our emails or our push notifications. The second category is extending the scope of our business. Here there are two sub-initiatives. One is differentiating our merchandise assortment. So while we launched 800 new brands last year, how do we find the best brands? How do we even increase the number of new brands that we're launching and differentiate ourselves in the marketplace by having brands that maybe you can't get on discount anywhere else? The other thing would be launching new franchises. So something like the What's in Her Bag franchise or the Look Now franchise would be an example of how do we tell the brand story, the story of the brands that we carry in a different way, and how do we drive partnerships that really differentiate the assortment that we carry. And then launch business extensions to accelerate scale. We have a number of partnership discussions that we're in right now. Nothing to announce today, but I think you'll see some interesting things coming up that will extend the Roux experience in some interesting ways. And then finally, strengthen the team and operational excellence. For us at Roux, it's not just about member engagement. For us internally, it's about employee engagement. We found that having the most engaged employees just allows us to be at our best and deliver the best experience to the members. And so we really have the goal to be the most memorable professional experience of all of our associates' life. It's a lofty goal. It's a hard thing to do, but we really mean it internally, and we have a lot of programs to drive engagement with our employees. And then the final one is maintain commitment to superior economics. We believe that we've created the best economics of any company, certainly in the flash space, of which many of them have gone out of business because they weren't able to generate profitable economics. We believe we've achieved the best economics in the business, and we want to continue to push the envelope on that and achieve even more. So those are our key initiatives for this year. So that's what we're up to. I'll leave you all with a few of the Roux-isms from some of our summer campaigns. There are a ton of ways to be part of the Roux story, kind of my shameless pitch. Has anyone bought anything while we were sitting here? So if you haven't yet, you can become a customer. We definitely have good deals. I would recommend you check us out. And if you haven't tried us in a while, definitely come back. We have a lot of new things that you probably didn't see before. If you are a brand or you represent a brand, we'd love to talk to you. There are a number of ways we can work together, some of which you saw today, that we can generate really unique exposure to the Roux audience in a really compelling and engaging way. And I think there are some exciting opportunities. So we'd be happy to talk about that. And we're hiring. So really across the company, there's a lot of growth, a lot of open roles. We'd love to chat if there's something that you're interested in exploring with us. And did I mention that employees get even a discount even off our already great values? So if you need extra motivation, it's really a no-brainer. So thanks so much for listening, and I'm happy to answer any questions you guys must have.